Hey there, in today's video, I'm going to give you a quick and simple tutorial on how to qualify for the Init airdrop. Now, Init is a DeFi platform. It's currently available on the Mantle L2 and the Blast L2. They have a point system live right now that is confirmed to lead into an airdrop at phase 3 with the Init distribution. Now, in terms of the opportunity, Init Capital raised $3.1 million just a couple of months ago. And I would say it's actually a pretty innovative app on Ethereum L2s that helps you leverage up for airdrop farming or yield farming. So not only is it useful, but also if you use it, you earn points that's going to be convertible into the Init airdrop. So that is the opportunity. And in today's video, I'm going to walk you through step by step the best way that you can maximize your points for this airdrop if you want to take advantage of this. So for starters, Init Capital can be used as a market to lend out your crypto assets, earn a yield on that, and then also to borrow against the value of your collateral. Now I'm going to be doing this on the Mantle L2, and these are the assets that are currently on offer. So a bunch of stable coins, the Mantle token itself, Bitcoin, ETH, and then a couple interesting ones include USDE, which is the product from Athena Finance, a high-yielding stable coin that also earns you airdrops from Athena. Then we've got METH from Mantle, which earns you Ethereum staking yields, but also eigenlayer points. And then we've got USDY, which is another stable coin within the Mantle ecosystem from Ondo. Now, in terms of how to maximize your points, basically the way that it works is if you deposit assets or borrow assets, you earn points. So depositing earns 1 point per $100 that you deposit onto the platform for every 24 hours. If you borrow, however, you earn 5 points for every $100 over a 24-hour period. So obviously that is the way to maximize your points. Then they have this other useful feature called Hook, which is actually a way to automatically leverage up on your positions, but we'll get to that in a second. So the basic way to use this platform is first you're going to go to the Market tab. You'll select which asset you want to deposit to the platform. You'll click on the purple button, and then you can decide if you want to deposit or borrow. So currently I've deposited 1,400 USDE onto the platform. Now this asset is actually not earning an APY right now because I believe the borrows are not enabled against it. However, this is earning me sats for the Athena Finance campaign, and that's why I deposited this asset. But if I deposit another asset like the MNT token, for example, so let's say I wanted to deposit 25 MNT to the platform, I could just select how many I want to deposit and then click open position. However, a useful feature that they have here, if you're already actually planning on borrowing against that, instead of doing it separately in multiple transactions, you can click here on deposit and borrow. Then I can choose to deposit 25 MNT and then to borrow a different asset against it directly. Now the borrow APY is variable based on the demand to borrow that asset and also the supply of it. So currently the borrow APY is lowest on USDT, and you cannot actually borrow these bottom 3 assets on the list. That's why they're grayed out. The highest borrow APY is on USDC. So let's say I wanted to open up a position where I deposited MNT and borrowed USDC. I would simply select both of those options here and then click open position, and it's going to do it all together at once for me. So let's go ahead and confirm that transaction in the wallet. And now it's opened up on my dashboard here so I can see the position. I have deposited $31 worth of MNT and I've borrowed $5 worth of USDC. Now, one thing I should mention here, it's important to know that there are risks associated with this because I'm depositing a variable asset in the MNT token. The price is quite volatile. However, USDT is a stable coin. So theoretically, if the price of MNT goes down really fast, then this position could be liquidated. So if I click on manage position, I can see the breakdown of this. Now the health factor of this is great because I only borrowed $5 against my collateral. However, if the health factor gets below 1, then this position would be liquidated. So you need to be careful, especially if you're lending and borrowing different assets that are not correlated. You need to watch the health factor and make sure that it doesn't get close to liquidation. Otherwise, I can track the net APY of this position, and actually I'm earning more than I'm spending in APY because the lending APY for MNT is greater than the borrow APY for USDT. And by the way, now I actually have that USDT in my wallet, so I can take it and do other stuff with it. So that is the basic lending and borrowing feature on the platform. And like I said, since you get 5 points per $100 per day for borrowing, that's the way that you can maximize points using this feature. However, another great tool of this platform is the hook feature. So let's talk about that right now. So this hook feature essentially allows you to automatically leverage up on a position. So the way that I just did it was I lent MNT to the platform and borrowed USDC. Now theoretically, I could take that USDC, go to an exchange like butter.xyz, swap that into more MNT, go back to the Init Capital platform, deposit it, and then borrow again and leverage up on a position that way. However, this hook feature basically allows you to do that whole process in one single click. It's only enabled for a couple of assets right now, and I'm gonna do it right now for the METH or Mantle ETH asset. But if you're farming the Athena Shards campaign with USDE, you can also loop and hook that. Anyways, I'm gonna do it for Mantle. And when you click on it, it shows you a little explanation of how this actually works. So like I described, it's going to take your collateral, borrow against that, and then swap it into more of whatever you supplied as collateral, and then loop that process for you. So it just makes it actually quite simple. You don't have to do it manually. So currently I have about 0.1 Mantle ETH, and that is what I'm going to use for this looping hook position. So first I'm just going to select the amount. It's going to be the maximum amount here. And then I can use this leverage slider to decide how much leverage to use. Now, the more leverage that I use, the greater the chance is of triggering a liquidation event. Now, if I click on this button right here to open up the net APY, I can see the APY that I'm earning for depositing Mantle ETH, and then also the borrow APY on the wrapped ETH that is used to loop this position. So I am going to open up a looping position with 3x leverage on my 0.1 Mantle ETH. Now, the next step is I have to approve the spending of this asset. Price impact looks like it's going to be about 1%, which is acceptable to me. And then the next step is to confirm the transaction to open up this looping position. Now, opening these hook positions is going to earn points as well for the Init airdrop. However, the points are variable. So since the usage of the liquidity hooks varies, then the points aren't actually confirmed until they drop bi-weekly. Anyways, if I go back to my dashboard now, I can see that position. The health factor of that loop is in the green. It's over 1.2, which is fine. And basically, I've taken that 0.1 Mantle ETH, looped it at 3x leverage, so it's like I have 0.3 Mantle ETH. So I'm earning staking yield on that Mantle ETH as if I had 0.3. And then also if there's future airdrops to Mantle ETH holders on the Mantle L2, which the team has said that there will be, then it's like I have more Mantle ETH than I actually started with. Of course, when I go to close this position, I'm going to withdraw my collateral, and what I'm going to get back is going to be less because I'm going to have to subtract the borrow APY from this position. So that's the way that it works. That's the way that they take their cut. And also an important thing to note is that since the borrow APY is about 18% per year, theoretically, if you did max leverage and your health factor was close to 1, then as the borrow APY ticks up, the value of your collateral actually goes down because it's coming out of that, and your position could technically be liquidated if you don't monitor it and make sure that the health factor stays in the green. And one other important thing to mention is that, of course, there's smart contract risk when you're interacting with a DeFi protocol like this. So when you lend out assets to the Init Capital platform, you need to be aware of the fact that there is that smart contract risk. If the team rugs or there's some bug in the code, you could potentially lose your assets. And then of course, there's also the liquidation risk that you need to be aware of if you are borrowing against the value of your collateral. So please always make sure that you do your own research and you're comfortable with the team behind this and the risks associated before you ape in and take advantage of the benefits and the points and the yield and all that. And you can track your points in the points dashboard here. So right now I only have 37 points, but I just started using this platform and I'm already at rank 7,948. So just given that, I would say there's still an opportunity to farm this. I put 1,400 USD into this a couple of days ago and I'm already below rank 10,000, just like that. Now, in terms of when the airdrop is gonna go through, there's no confirmed date. However, phase 2 just recently went live, so I would say there is still an opportunity for this. So thanks so much for watching. Hopefully you found this useful. And as always, have a great day.